I'm Melanie Barnes. At 10 o'clock, we'll look at if Rochester is ready for war and a new terror alert. Plus, the murder trial of an anti-abortion activist comes to a swift ending.
Next Tuesday, enemies struck the heart of America.
3 countries colluded to explode a nuclear bomb on our soil, and we have proof.
What if the proof is a lie?
Can Jack Bauer stop a devastating response?
Simultaneous ground assault will result in 10 to 30,000 American casualties.
I'm just worried that someone is trying to manipulate you into taking military action.
Before it's too late.
You may be talking about World War III.
If I can provide the president with concrete proof, we can stop a war.
I don't want to make a mistake that our children and their children will have to pay for.
Holding on, I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking.
24 returns at 9, 8 Central next Tuesday on Fox.
The 10 o'clock news is next, right here on Fox Rochester.
At GMC, being professional grade means you do things better. That's why the GMC Sierra has more horsepower than any other pickup in the world. Envoy comes with the most front head and leg room in its class, and Yukon has the tightest turning radius in its class. GMC, we are professional grade. GM owners or lessees can get $3,000 total cash back on all new GMCs. See the pros at your Rochester area GMC dealers.
I'm Melanie Barnes. Tonight, the nation goes back on orange alert. What Rochester and New York is doing. Plus, a verdict tonight in the James Cott murder trial.
And I'm Morris Jones at News Central. The government is going super sensitive when it comes to security. And Ted Turner, war reporter for CNN.
Good evening, I'm Melanie Barnes. The world is still waiting. 8 p.m. tomorrow will be the end of the 48-hour notice that President Bush gave for Saddam Hussein and his sons to leave Iraq. There have been several new developments late today as America prepares for war. Morris Jones from News Central headquarters joins us now with the latest.
With an invasion force massing on his southern border, Iraqi President Saddam Hussein is rejecting President Bush's demand that he leave power. A televised statement by Iraq's supreme governing body said Saddam is ready to confront a U.S.-led attack and denounced what it called Bush's reckless ultimatum. In another statement, Saddam's eldest son said President Bush is the one who should step down from power. Uday Hussein says there will be a bloody battle if U.S. forces invade Iraq. White House spokesman Ari Fleischer responded today to Saddam's rejection of President Bush's ultimatum.
Saddam Hussein has led Iraq to many mistakes in the past, principally by developing weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein, if he doesn't leave the country, will make his final mistake.
Meanwhile, the French are still waffling. President Jacques Chirac repeating the U.S. has no justification for launching a war in Iraq and saying weapons inspectors should be allowed to finish their work. But later today, France announced it could help the U.S. coalition if Iraq uses chemical and biological weapons. Critics reacted by saying, leave it to the French to play both sides of the battle. In other developments, the Iraqi government announced that their National Assembly would meet an extraordinary session Wednesday morning. That's the latest from News Central. I'm Morris Jones. Now back to you.
Thanks, Morris. Coming up later from News Central, we'll have the latest on Operation Liberty Shield. You'll see how you'll see how the news alert from Homeland Security is taking shape. State leaders say New York is prepared. Today, the governor raised our state's alert status and asked state agencies to activate their war contingency plans for what is being called Operation New York Shield. The governor held a multi-agency security work session this afternoon. He says there are no specific threats against New York, but still, the governor says New York is always a target.
I can tell you that our steps are as aggressive as they possibly can be, and our professionals as fine as they can possibly be. So I'm just extremely confident that for all the heightened level of tension and alert and the vigilance that New Yorkers have to show, that we will do everything to make sure every step is taken to protect New Yorkers.
The governor reminds New Yorkers of the counterterrorism tip line. If you see anything unusual or out of the ordinary, you're asked to call 1-866-SAFE-NYS. With a raised national and state security alert and a possible war ahead, National Guard troops and extra state police are on duty at the Rochester Airport for more checkpoints that are in place. Reporter Dana Roselli has more on what you can expect during Code Orange. Dana?
Well, that's right, Melanie. You probably won't notice the heightened security. That's because a lot of it is kept secret in order to protect without possible terrorists knowing what agencies are doing. But if you plan on going to the airport, prepare to make an extra stop.
Just pull right over here for me real quick.
It's nothing we haven't seen before, but it is a visible sign that the national security alert level is up.
Based on what the president said last night in his comments to the country, we did take measures last night and early today to begin to increase security at the airport.
You're all set. Have a nice day.
When you pull into the airport, this is what you can expect.
When they approach the airport in vehicles, they will see that we are doing random searches of vehicles again as they approach the terminal. That'll probably be the most noticeable change that the public will see.
Other measures include surveillance and more sheriff's deputies on duty.
Because of the extra security measures, it will take you longer to get to your flight. The airport manager says make sure you're here an hour and a half early.
Security workers in charge of vehicle checkpoints are contracted with the county. Although the cost of security is up due to high alerts, Monroe County already budgeted in $1.6 million. And those in charge of the public safety say they're trained and ready to protect and react.
We are obviously working very closely with the federal agencies to keep up with the latest as to what they're hearing and what's going on to be able to respond and support. We do have people on task forces that work very closely with them to make sure that we have all of the latest information and that we can respond quickly.
Now, the Homeland Security Secretary says Operation Liberty Shield also heightens security at the nation's borders, railways, and nuclear plants like Ginna. And again, if you head out to the airport, be there early. The extra security steps take time. Melanie?
Thanks, Dana. Some good advice. Pro-life radical James Kopp was found guilty today of murdering Buffalo abortion provider Dr. Barnett Slepian. A judge issued the ruling this afternoon. Kopp, seen here in still photos from court today, waived his right to a jury trial last week, and a judge heard arguments instead. His attorney says despite the verdict, he doesn't regret the decision.
You could see from the presentation of the evidence yesterday that if this trial had been a month long, it would have been a month of the district attorney's office very methodically putting in evidence of forensics, ballistics, DNA, eyewitness testimony day after day, and we really didn't want to challenge that at all. There was no doubt that Jim had committed the act. The only question was what legal effect did it have.
His attorney says Kopp will speak at length at his sentencing on May 9th. He faces 25 years to life in prison. The jury has been charged, but there is still no verdict in the Eric Parsons trial. The jury deliberated for 6 hours this afternoon and into this evening, but have been sequestered for the night. Closing arguments wrapped up early this afternoon in the trial of Eric Parsons. He's charged with killing his wife Cheryl and their 4 children after setting their home on fire. The district attorney told the jury Parsons was physically and verbally abusive to his family, but when his wife Cheryl moved into a new apartment, Parsons lost control and his retaliation was setting the home on fire. DA Richard Swinehart spoke to us after closing arguments.
I think what we had was a situation where the relationship was abusive. The non-abusive parent stayed with her children, died with her children. The other parent set a fire and killed those children.
The jury will be sequestered overnight. They've asked to have the charges re-read to them tomorrow morning before they deliberate for a second day. A little bit colder today, but it still looked nice, and spring is now just days away. Let's get our first look at the weather with meteorologist Megan Glaros.
Thanks a lot, Melanie. Now, the official start to spring is Thursday night at 8 p.m. But with temperatures like this, feels like spring's already here. We made it to 47 degrees. Normally this time of year, it's about 44. And our overnight low was well above average. Now, today was cooler than what we saw yesterday. And that cooler air is going to stick around for the next couple of days. A bit chillier flow heading in towards Rochester, but still temperatures in the upper 40s. And before the end of the week, we're going to start to see a little precipitation heading our way. We'll tell you about that in the full forecast. But as for the day tomorrow, we're going to see 30 degrees at 7 a.m., some sunny skies by noon, and by 5 p.m. we might start to see a little bit of rain. We'll tell you more in the full forecast. Melanie, back to you.
Up next, why enlist now? We talk to a new military recruit on what looks like the eve of war.
And I'm Morris Jones. Next on News Central, invading Iraq, what it means for us here at home. And war and religion, can the two exist on the front lines?
The 10 o'clock news brought to you by Webster Ford.
For a limited time, low, extra low payments at Webster Ford. 03 Focus LX Sedan, $159 per month. 03 Taurus LX, $209 per month. 03 Windstar LX, $279 per month. Folks, you need to hurry. Don't miss this. We offer you a great deal. At Webster Ford, we treat you like family.
Elaine's got to get rid of her boyfriend. You'll never make it. Shut up and bear! On the next Seinfeld. Tonight at 11 on Fox Rochester.
I was never in this game for awards, but I'll take my bows.
Buick LeSabre, ranked best full-size car in initial quality. Century, best premium midsize. The remarkably versatile Rendezvous. Through March 31st, Buick Quality rewards current GM owners with a total of $3,000 cash back. Move up to Buick Quality now. See your Greater Rochester area Buick dealer today.
You're a great mom. You're beautiful and you're smart and you work so hard.
Billy, would you like me to call your mom and see if you can stay for dinner?
If you insist.
Introducing the Cinemeal Deal. Any large Pizza Hut pizza, America's favorite, with up to 3 toppings, just $11.99. Plus a generous order of our new freshly baked cinnamon sticks absolutely free. The $11.99 Cinemeal Deal. Spoil your family, not your budget.
You're powerful, smart.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At Pizza Hut.
The crew has created a fantasy world.
Would you like to kiss me?
Where anything can happen. But if they think it's flawless,
that whole program is an accident waiting to happen.
They're wrong. Dead wrong on the next Star Trek Voyager. Tonight at midnight on Fox Rochester.
By this time tomorrow night, America could be at war with Iraq. I'm Morris Jones. Here's the latest from News Central. Less than 24 hours left in President Bush's ultimatum, and Saddam Hussein remains as defiant as ever with no sign of backing down. He's refusing to leave office or face military action. Plus, he was seen today wearing a military uniform, the first time since the Gulf War. Meantime, Iraq's foreign minister said Bush, quote, is pushing himself over the cliff. America's British buddy, Prime Minister Tony Blair, is feeling the heat, but he's also getting what he wants, the backing of the House of Commons. Today, he won legislative support after a motion was struck down opposing military action against Iraq. To get it, Blair delivered an impassioned plea in which he declared that the U.S. and Europe must unite around a series of major issues. He also said any decision would have a lasting effect on international relations. And our friends, the French. They seem to be changing their tune about a conflict with Iraq. The French ambassador to the U.S. today revealing their military could assist America. That's if Iraq decides to use biological and chemical weapons against coalition forces. However, the French keep supporting UN weapons inspections. As we move closer to war, the newly created Department of Homeland Security is stepping up to the plate. It's not an easy job, as the threat of conflict raises the possibility of counterattacks on American soil. News Central's Jennifer Gladstone is here with the latest on the Homeland Security front. Jennifer?
Morris, in the last few days, people with ties to Iraqi intelligence have been kicked out of this country, and the FBI has stepped up surveillance on others. It's all part of the new Operation Liberty Shield, and you can get a good feel for what it's like under this heightened state of alert just by watching what's going on in Washington. Dwight Watson has driven his tractor to Washington before, but it's never turned out quite like this. He says he just wants the government to know that lower subsidies for farmers have broken him. He says his business has gone bust, and now he sits on his tractor in the pond, surrounded by the Washington Monument, the Vietnam Memorial, and SWAT teams with high-powered rifles. It all started Monday around noon, and since then it's paralyzed the area around the mall and snarled traffic for miles around. But possibly worst of all, it's made people in Washington, both tourists and locals, all too aware that a threat could be lurking anywhere, anytime. Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge hopes Operation Liberty Shield will not only secure us, but also ease some of the anxiety of these pre-war days.
This comprehensive national plan of action will help protect our citizens, our infrastructure, and very importantly, help deter those who plan further terrorist attack.
Liberty Shield, along with our return to orange on the terror alert scale, translates into more patrols and much tighter restrictions at our borders. Governors are calling out the National Guard. If you're headed to the airport, expect your car to be searched. The same at seaports and railways. In California, the police are monitoring from the skies, watching over dams, power plants, and anything that could be a target.
You're just looking, hoping that you can prevent something from happening or lessen the impact if something should happen.
And in the Midwest, they're wondering if the show will really go on. The NCAA tournament could be in jeopardy, but for now they're just beefing up security at the Ford Center Arena, which is enough for the fans.
You need to pay attention to your surroundings and everything around you, but you can't stop living life.
In the midst of all this, Secretary Ridge has a warning for all of us. He says, do not listen to rumors. He says lots will be flying around, and there's no doubt lots of misinformation will be out there too. So he warns, be vigilant, but do not panic. Morris?
Good advice. Thanks, Jennifer. So what's in the mood in Washington these days as the country moves closer to war? News Central's John Lieberman is in D.C. and standing by live. John?
Morris, this city is a remarkable snapshot of two different worlds tonight. One is bracing for war, the other is just striving for normalcy.
Stepped up security here in the nation's capital as tourists hope for normalcy. Anti-war protesters hope for peace.
I'm not afraid. I'm not scared. I think maybe tomorrow or the next day might be a little bit different.
I really don't think innocent people need to die, frankly.
Meantime, lawmakers like Maryland's Barbara Mikulski, who opposed unilateral military action, are now bracing for war.
I hope that the war is short and that the casualties are limited.
By tomorrow night at this time, that war may have begun. In Washington, John Lieberman, Fox 45 News, late edition.
And on a side note, White House tours have also been suspended because of the heightened state of alert. Live in Washington, I'm John Lieberman. Back to you, Morris.
Okay. Thank you, John. It's been to Iraq and back and may go again. We're talking about an American flag made by some Massachusetts kindergartners. What used to be an art project to honor the anniversary of 9/11 turned into a morale booster for American troops, and every child literally had a hand in it.
It brought the morale of those troops up so much to see this flag that they'd like to send it back a second time. I said yes immediately, but then I realized it wasn't my flag, it was our flag. And when I asked the children, they just spoke up and said, yes, yes.
The flag will make a return trip to Iraq, but so far no word on which unit might receive the children's handiwork. In tonight's Hollywood Hot Air, Cheryl is crowing again about the impending war and her right to free speech. On the singer's website, she rambles for 3 long pages about the search for truth. Crow wants everyone to know she doesn't think her opinion is any more important than anyone else's, something new for a lot of Hollywood types, and she calls herself a proud American. But when she talks about why we're going to war, she writes, if this is a war not based on our own interests in oil, then why is it that our government is offering tax cuts to businesses who purchase SUVs as company cars? Well, she didn't mention Saddam gassing his own people or Iranians when he fought them or invading Kuwait in '91. And Susan Sarandon's latest drama could be called My Mother's a Conservative. Lenore Tomlin has no qualms telling people she's a Republican. Lenore says it's not that she's pro-war, she just supports the president. As for her daughter's anti-war rhetoric, she says that's just the way Sarandon thinks because that's the way Hollywood thinks. But Lenore believes her respect for her daughter, that she respects her daughter more than Sarandon respects her. A little law and order to back Bush, actor and former Senator Fred Thompson is taking to the airwaves. He's taped a 30-second TV commercial in which he applauds the president for having the courage to protect our country. The ads are supposed to start airing this week in Washington and New York. Cheryl, Susan, and Fred, just the tip of the iceberg of celebrities weighing in with their opinions, which leads us to our question of the day. Should celebrities shut up because no one cares what they say, or keep talking because it's their right? Log on to newscentral.tv and cast your vote. We'll have your answer tomorrow night. And the results from last night's poll are in. 94% of you think Saddam Hussein will stay in Iraq to be bombed, while 6% of you think he'll leave for safer ground. Ted Turner has been called many things, but war correspondent?
You know, some people wanted to pull out, and I did say, well, you know, if nobody else will do it, I'll do it.
Well, you may have founded CNN, but as you just heard, you won't see Ted Turner reporting live from Baghdad. The network reportedly told him he wasn't qualified. The number has risen to 160 and it's climbing. That's the number of people sickened by the unusual form of pneumonia making its way around the globe. So far, at least 4 people around the world have died as a result. The World Health Organization, which is tracking and investigating the outbreak, says while the disease is worrisome, the true scope of its threat has yet to be determined. Brian David Mitchell is not just a self-proclaimed prophet to the homeless. According to prosecutors, he's also a predatory sex offender. Mitchell and his wife, Wanda Barzee, are charged with kidnapping, burglary, and sexual assault in the Elizabeth Smart case. California police want to know if the couple could be linked to another abduction case, an 11-year-old girl who's been missing since 1991. Lots of theories and talk, but still no definite cause into what brought down the space shuttle Columbia. A third public hearing today in Houston where NASA engineers continued talking with the investigative board. So far, there is no obvious cause into the explosion, even though experts have tried a number of things to recreate the explosion. At this point, the prevailing theory continues to be that the left wing was somehow breached. The Fed just won't budge. It's leaving interest rates alone for the time being. For now, it will stay at just 1.25%. That's a 41-year low already. Investors were looking for a rate cut or at least a hint of one in the future. Running from the IRS, you better watch out, so says Mark Everson. He's President Bush's nominee to run the Internal Revenue Service. The nomination is for a 5-year term with the vote in Congress set for next week. Supporters are hoping it will go smoother than the judges nominated by President Bush. And more local news coming up then later. As the U.S. prepares to go to war, there's been a joining of forces in the military. We'll show you coming up. And ever wonder why France whines so much about not going to war with Iraq? A very obvious answer a bit later on. But first, the point and social insecurity.
Today we welcome the viewers of Fox 68 in Syracuse, New York. Mike Cole, in charge of the Wisconsin and Minnesota branches of the Social Security's Inspector General's office, blew the whistle on the agency's practice of returning bogus documents to people who were caught trying to fraudulently obtain a Social Security card. Cole was rewarded for his actions with a 10-day suspension. After his discovery had been ignored by agency officials, Cole informed a Milwaukee newspaper of the practice. Officials retaliated against him and then defended the practice of returning the forged documents. This would be like returning counterfeit money to the counterfeiter. Social Security bureaucrats should ensure no one is defrauding the agency. Even without capturing the perpetrators, keeping forged documents is a necessary first step. However, unaccountable government bureaucrats don't seem to see it that way. That's the point. Go to newscentral.tv and tell us what you think. I'm Mark Heightened.
to dribble drive using a high post pick. There's the pass. Puts it up. Yes! Oh! Holy mackerel, what a game!
Equipped with Performance Shift Automatic and Power Interior Package, GM owners and lessees can lease a new 2003 Grand MSC Special Edition for around $199 a month. Call for details.
Is this March Madness or what?
Visit your Rochester area Pontiac dealer today.
Injuries suffered as a result of a serious accident often have devastating effects. To obtain what's right and just, your choice of a law firm is critical.
At Celino & Barnes, we offer you our experience and a track record of proven results. During the past 2 years, we've likely recovered more money for more accident victims than any firm in Western New York.
By achieving these exceptional results for our clients, we have become one of America's largest personal injury firms.
Our success is the difference.
Win $2,000 a week for life. The latest edition from the New York Lottery. You keep living, we'll keep paying.
The Saab 9.3 Sports Sedan just received a 5-star rating for collision safety performance from the European New Car Assessment Program.
Hear that? It's the sound of the explosive deal you can get during Time Warner Cable's Mega Movie Marathon. If you don't have cable, this is your chance to get over 200 channels of digital cable for just $39.95 a month for 3 months. Plus, get 32 premium movie channels free. 6 HBO, 9 Showtime, Stars, Encore, Cinemax, the Movie Channel, thousands of movies from the latest to the greatest free for 3 months. It's Time Warner's Mega Movie Marathon. Call to order now, 1-800-756-7956.
Tired of disconnects, busy signals, paying for a second phone line? Stop wasting time and money. Get Roadrunner. Roadrunner is up to 50 times faster than dial-up. And right now, you can get Roadrunner for only 99 cents a day for 6 months. Just think, Roadrunner in your home within 5 days, and you'll save up to 35% for the next 6 months. This is the best offer of the year. Call 756-BEEP today.
We love it!
At a time when most high school students are thinking about prom and graduation, one local teen is getting ready for a possible war with Iraq. Stephanie Simo joins us with more. Stephanie, what motivates an 18-year-old to join the military, especially during the strong possibility of war?
Melanie, Fairport High School senior Ryan McLaughlin says it's not a surge of patriotism that led him to enlist. It's about wanting to gain discipline and being a part of an honorable team.
Most students in this class are graduating in June, heading off to college in September. But 18-year-old Ryan McLaughlin is stepping into a future with much more uncertainty.
I wanted to end up doing something more, something that would benefit other people, something that would make me a better person. And I just saw the Army as being the answer.
It wasn't the answer his parents wanted to hear.
I think coming from the generation where my friends went to war, went to Vietnam, it destroyed a lot of the kids, mentally, not just physically. And to think of your child being in that situation is not what you wish.
100 more days till graduation. 100 days? 100 days.
My biggest fear is that he'll be captured, tortured.
A member of the varsity swim team with a 3.5 GPA, Ryan made his decision to enlist 6 months ago. A decision Army recruiters say not many 18-year-olds make. Only about 15 to 20 from the Rochester area each year.
Ryan is a pretty cool kid. He went up there looking for opportunity to continue his education. He did want to do something exciting. He didn't want to sit behind a desk. He also wanted to excel as high in our rank structure as possible.
Scoring in the top 10% of the Army's aptitude test, he'll train with the Special Forces Division to become a Green Beret.
I'm going in there with the idea that I might have to go to war and I might have to fight.
A fight he says he's not afraid of, despite the winds of a new war.
I'll be doing it for the people that mean the most to me. And if me dying is a requirement for other people to feel safer, then, you know, it was God's will.
Ryan leaves for Fort Benning, Georgia at the end of July, and he's committed to the Army for at least 5 years. Melanie?
All right, Stephanie, thanks. Today, high school students got the chance to see what it was like to be the teacher. Roberts Wesleyan College held its third annual Think About Teaching Conference. Area schools held workshops where students learned about preparing for college, studying education, and career opportunities. The conference was aimed at minority students, but was open to anyone interested in teaching. The National Women's Hall of Fame has selected its inductees for this year. 12 women will be inducted to the hall in Seneca Falls, including Gertrude Arerly, the first woman to swim the English Channel, and the late Dorothea Lange, a pioneer in documentary photography during the Depression and World War II. The induction will be October 4th. Now you'll find more on the Hall of Fame with our Fox On site. It's sponsored by Roadrunner. There's a link at foxrochester.com. Still to come tonight, we give you the full Monty, but don't worry, we'll keep it clean.
The 10 o'clock news, brought to you by your local Dodge dealers.
Hey! That thing got a Hemi, right? Yeah! Well, now I got a Hemi, too! But I got something you don't got! Check this out!
Dodge Ram 1500. The Hemi legend continues. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty, plus 0% financing or $2,500 cash allowance. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match this.
Epson T001. Canon BC31E.
Shopping for ink and toner in most stores is hit or miss.
HP C9720.
Come on.
A.
At Staples, we stock a huge selection of cartridges, so we guarantee we'll have the one you need. Online or in store, promise. HP 45.
Bingo.
Your ink and toner in stock. Staples. That was easy.
What was that Passat commercial? The one with the fancy all-wheel drive thingy? What was the deal? If one wheel starts slipping, power gets taken away from it and sent to the other wheels. That'd be a good thing to have.
Just a reminder, the 4Motion all-wheel drive system from Volkswagen is only available from Volkswagen.
Behind them, a little too much fog. Ahead of them, a few too many people. But right now, life is perfect. Thanks to purple mountains, fruited plains, and a monumental lease offer on the Acura TL. See your Acura dealer for details.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's going to be a pretty chilly night. It's only 32 degrees outside right now. That humidity is 50%. Winds out of the northeast at 14, and the pressure's rising at 30.09 inches. Now, we do have a flood warning in effect through Wednesday for Monroe County, and we're talking about two specific creeks, those being the Owatcut Creek and the Black Creek. In these areas, we could see minor flooding, and again, that flood warning is in effect through the day on Wednesday. Now, in terms of any precipitation expected tonight, things are looking okay for us once again. Here in the Rochester area, we'll see mostly clear skies this evening, but that unfortunately is going to give way to also some chillier temperatures filtering in tonight. Those clouds not able to act as a blanket, well, when they're not there. So we're going to see some chillier air filtering our way for this evening. Temperatures in the mid-20s, but it looks like we're going to escape yet another evening without any precipitation. Again, most of the cloud cover staying away as well. As we head throughout the day tomorrow, we should see mostly sunny skies. But unfortunately, we're going to start to get a peek at some precipitation as we head throughout the evening hours of tomorrow. So get those umbrellas ready if you're heading somewhere tomorrow evening. And again, that precip will start to float our way. As we head throughout the day today, things looking okay, but then this stationary front begins to get a little closer to the Rochester area, and before the evening hours, we'll start to see some of that rainfall heading up towards us. So again, get an umbrella if you don't have one already, maybe in your car. We're also doing a freedom forecast tonight for you. Looks like a cold front's getting ready to move through the area. Again, could kick up some pretty nasty winds and possibly some sandstorm activity for the folks in the Middle East. Now for tonight, 25 degrees in Rochester, 26 down towards northern Livingston County, about 25 over towards Medina and Batavia. As we head into tomorrow, we expect an absolutely gorgeous sunny day. Temperatures right around 48 degrees in Rochester, almost 50 in Caledonia, and a little bit cooler if you head towards Medina and Batavia. And again, we do have that flood warning in effect for the Olwatka Creek and the Black Creek. Keep your eyes and ears out for that. Before tonight, 25 degrees. We'll see some pretty cold conditions, some nice clear skies. And as we head throughout the day tomorrow, we'll see temperatures that will be chillier than what we saw about 2 days ago, but pretty similar to today. Mostly sunny skies, again, a temperature right around 48. Let's take a peek at the 7-day forecast, let you know what to expect there so you can plan the rest of your week. Looks like tomorrow we're going to see a temperature right around 48 degrees, some nice sunny skies throughout the day. But as we head into nightfall, we could see some rain starting to head towards the Rochester area. As for Thursday, we're looking at a temperature in the low 50s, and it looks like a day where you will need an umbrella for pretty much the entire day. An overnight low expected of around 40 degrees. Now, as you head throughout the weekend, doesn't look like the rain's going to let up, folks. We could see a fairly rainy end to the week for us and a fairly wet beginning to next week as well. Thankfully, by Tuesday, looks like the precip's moving out of the way. We'll have a cloudy day on Tuesday. Back to you. Thanks, Megan. Well, here's a way to warm up. Take part in a 5K run. Organizers of the 4th annual Walk the Runways event gathered at the Rochester Airport today to announce this year's 5K. The run benefits programs and services for people with developmental disabilities. The 5K run is Saturday, June 14th, and you can contact Lifetime Assistance to register. Still to come tonight, football, the exhibit. The Bills come to town to take their place at the Strong Museum.
Pound 31 is a free call on your Verizon wireless phone for tips to the 10 o'clock news.
The luxurious Lexus ES comes available with rich leather and a Mark Levinson premium sound system. We pursue perfection, so you can pursue living. Only at Dorsho Lexus.
Okay, Oven Mitt, time to get another roast out of the...
Look, it's Arby's new Italian beef and provolone.
The oven goodness of beef, roasted right in the store so it's juicy, not greasy, then marinated in Italian seasonings on a soft baguette.
Okay, I'll stop.
Try Arby's new Italian beef and provolone.
What are you eating today?
Rich and powerful insurance companies often attempt to severely limit the rights of accident victims.
When they are successful, the cost of the victim's disability and rehabilitation falls upon all of us, the taxpayers.
If you are ever injured, your choice of law firms is critical. By successfully fighting for our clients against insurance companies, Solino & Barnes has become one of America's largest personal injury firms.
Call us. We'd be honored to fight for you.
At GMC, being professional grade means you do things better. That's why the GMC Sierra has more horsepower than any other pickup in the world. Envoy comes with the most front, head, and leg room in its class, and Yukon has the tightest turning radius in its class. GMC, we are professional grade. GM owners or lessees can get $3,000 total cash back on all new GMCs. See the pros at your Rochester area GMC dealers.
It's a war of words over words about war. On one side, the House Speaker. On the other, the Senate Democratic leader. Today, Republican House Speaker Dennis Hastert charged Tom Daschle with coming mighty close to giving comfort to the enemy. Hastert saying Daschle spent more time criticizing the leadership of President Bush than he spent criticizing the tyranny of Saddam Hussein. Just yesterday, Tom Daschle accused the president of failing miserably at diplomacy. He cited the lack of support from our neighboring countries, Canada and Mexico. Daschle is standing by his comment. And the people running the Academy Awards are standing by their broadcast date of this Sunday. But network officials say the telecast could be preempted or interrupted if ABC is airing war coverage. So, as American troops abroad gear up for battle, where does faith come into play for them? News Central's Craig Boswell talked with the military priest stationed with the 101st Airborne.
His real name is George Shoshowski, but the Army told him it would be impossible to pronounce.
So my nickname is Father George.
Father George is on his 7th deployment in 9 years. The dangers of war are nothing new. He's been the target of enemy fire 4 times. He sums up war, death, and religion this way.
And if you won't defend yourself, the enemy will kill you, or they will kill your family. We are not to murder people, but if enemy will be killed, it's tough.
In the U.S. Army, priests don't carry weapons, so Father George arms himself with an attitude that there is no hatred in war, only a sense of duty.
Maybe this is the last mass. We don't know if tomorrow we'll be alive. So it's beautiful.
One other thing may surprise you. Here, soldiers, both men and women, sleep in the same quarters. For Father George, that's not a conflict.
We are one uniform. Doesn't matter what your race, what your gender or sex. No, we are soldiers. And this is beautiful in United States Army.
As for the old saying, there are no atheists in foxholes, Father George is happy to say he's found no atheists here at all.
Thanks be to God.
Father George joined the Army to repay a debt to American soldiers. U.S. troops freed one side of his family from Nazi Germany. He compares that to a similar debt felt here in Kuwait City for their liberation from the Iraqi forces in 1991. In Kuwait, Craig Boswell, News Central.
A joining of forces here at home. Military families left behind are coming together to offer each other comfort. But unlike wars of the past, families are finding support online. There are currently hundreds of active message boards and chat rooms set up specifically for military families. One Navy spouse's site already has 20,000 messages posted.
It's hard to go to your neighbor and say, gosh, we're really suffering here and we got real problems. Going online, anonymity is a big part of it. And the thing about it is that there are more experts about this online than you're going to find in any one place anywhere.
Many of the online forums are filled with veterans and former military families ready to help. There have already been casualties in a sealed-off safe room, but chemical weapons are not to blame. An Israeli mother and her 2 sons decided to sleep in the room, but they suffocated because of a coal-fueled heater in the adjoining room. Some American Marines in Kuwait are furious they've been put under British command. With brutal weather conditions and the lack of modern conveniences taking a toll, the issue is becoming a flashpoint. The Financial Times of London reporting that some 2,000 U.S. troops will be under British command. The editor of Jane's World Army says it's a surprising departure from normal American policy. Quote, there must have been quite a lot of political maneuvering to achieve this. Some think the action will help embattle Prime Minister Tony Blair. Others aren't sure what to make of it, except that some Marines say they'd rather die for the United States and not the world. We'll keep you updated. And if there was ever a question over French loyalty, their oil companies have a sweetheart deal with Iraq, period. President Jacques Chirac's close ties to Saddam Hussein date back to the 70s. Critics tease him as Iraq Chirac. But we'll see what happens in the months to come. That's Get This. I'm Morris Jones.
And I'm Jonas Schwartz. The NCAA comments on whether the tournament will be postponed. We'll tell you the situation coming up next in Sports Central. But first, your local sports after the break.
The 10 o'clock news brought to you by Summit Federal Credit Union.
The Summit Federal Credit Union, in association with Roland Williams Youth Lifeline Foundation, has brought the financial literacy program to our community. Designed specifically for our youth, the program focuses on teaching kids about financial responsibility and the important role it plays in the success of their future.
Who can tell me what the two components are that make up a spending plan? Nisha.
I think that'd be income and expenses.
The financial literacy program, teaching our children how to be financially responsible in preparing for their future.
From power to refinement, it's the best Accord yet. Auto Week magazine.
It just doesn't get any better than this. Car and Driver.
Inside this handsome new structure is a cabin that caters to the driver, Motor Trend.
We've always received our fair share of accolades. The key is never being satisfied with them.
Now you can lease a 2003 Accord LX sedan for $239 a month for 39 months.
This is it, Rochester. Metro Mattress's best offer of the year. Buy the mattress at our everyday low price and get the box spring for free. That's right, the box spring is free. Choose Sealy Posturepedic, choose King Coil or Natural Response, choose Simmons Beauty Rest. Plus, enjoy 0% financing for 1 full year and get a free heavy-duty bed frame for free express delivery during the Metro Mattress free box spring sale.
Metro Mattress, the sleep superstore. Metro Mattress, the sleep superstore.
I've got to get a new car.
I've got to get to my Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Think big at your Lincoln Mercury dealer's Think Big sales event, where you can get big incentives on every Lincoln and Mercury, including LS, Navigator, the new Lincoln Aviator, and the redesigned, re-engineered 2003 Lincoln Town Car. Drive it now for only $449 a month for 39 months with $19.99 cash due at signing. Think big now through March 31st at your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Well, it might be March, but football was the main attraction tonight at the Strong Museum in Rochester. Buffalo Bills owner Ralph Wilson was among the special guests for a reception celebrating the museum's football exhibit. Several players were there too. Wilson talked about the Bills' offer to free agent lineman Sam Adams, an offer that appears to be firm from owner and GM Tom Donahoe.
We hope he takes the offer. The offer's there if he wants to take it. But there's one thing about Tom, he sizes up talent. Their value to the team. He makes an offer, and that's it.
A sure sign that spring is here. The Frontier Field box office opens this Friday at a special time, 7 a.m. for Red Wings ticket sales. The Red Wings home opener is coming up soon, April 5th. Local lacrosse today on the women's side. Nazareth beat St. John Fisher 10-2. Shauna Cabot had 3 goals for the Lady Flyers. Now more with Sports Central.
Hi everyone, Jonas back with you at Sports Central. With the pending war in Iraq, the NCAA was considering postponing March Madness. But today, President Miles Brand decided the game should go on.
We will go forward with our plans to play the games when and if war breaks out. We are prepared to do that. The overriding consideration was that we were not going to let a tyrant determine how we will lead our lives.
So with the game still on, the next issue is making sure fans and athletes are safe from possible terrorism. Sports Central's Mark Armstrong takes a look at how tournament arenas will handle security during a time of war.
In any other year, we'd be calling the NCAA tournament a war of attrition and cheering on our school's troops as they went into battle. Not this time around.
Basketball is just a game, and the war is more important than basketball.
Your heart go out to those people who got to go out to fight and their families.
NCAA President Miles Brand announced today that the games would go on.
The overriding consideration was that we were not going to let a tyrant determine how we will lead our lives.
But that doesn't mean business as usual.
Anybody who says they're not concerned would not be being completely and totally candid and forthright.
Fans attending the tournament can expect longer lines and count on the fact that as you arrive to watch the action, someone in turn will be watching you.
We're going to make sure it's a safe environment for our student athletes, a safe environment for our fans.
We have been in contact with Homeland Security, the FBI, and other agencies for some time now to assure that it's as safe as it possibly can be.
The question now is, will the threat of terrorism keep people away from the action?
If I gave you a pair of tickets to go to the game, would you use them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would use them.
Oh, yeah.
No reservations?
No reservations.
Mark Armstrong for Sports Central.
Thanks, Mark. So let the games begin. UNC Asheville and Texas Southern kick off the big dance with the play-in game. Alex Kragel, the three-pointer. Bulldogs lead 73-69. But Texas Southern doesn't fold. Under 10 seconds to go. Lionel Willis ties it up with the putback. We're going to overtime. In the extra session, Bulldogs pull away. Andre Smith, the drive and the layup. Smith scores 28, and UNC Asheville will now face Texas, getting the 92-84 win in OT. The NCAA tournament will go on as scheduled for the moment. The war in Iraq is forcing Major League Baseball to rearrange some of its games. Today, Commissioner Bud Selig cancels the season-opening series between Seattle and Oakland, which was scheduled to be played in Japan. Selig says it would be unfair and unsettling to send teams half a world away from their families during a time of war. He also believes it's safer to keep the Mariners and athletics on American soil. You know, I used to think I had a good life in high school. After all, I had a car, a stylish station wagon where the horn wouldn't work if you used the lighter, and I was good at hoops, making it into the Synagogue League's Hall of Fame. But I think LeBron James has me beat. He has a $50,000 car where the lighter and horn work simultaneously, and he makes the Basketball Hall of Fame. The Hall confirms they will receive a LeBron uniform to celebrate the most scrutinized and outstanding high school basketball player of all time. Have the Cleveland Cavaliers gotten so bad they'll sign anyone? Well, this lady could probably play better defense against the Mavericks than the Cavs. Michael Finley putting down the alley-oop. And then the Cavs try to answer with Darius Miles. Does a great job of shooting a lovely air ball. Mavs come the other way, find the extra pass to Dirk Nowitzki. He hits from downtown. Dirk with 28, and Dallas leads 106-86 late in the fourth quarter. You know, everyone criticizes the NHL and NBA for letting too many teams in the postseason. So what does the NFL want to do? Let more teams into the postseason. The New York Daily News reports football owners are considering adding another playoff berth. The move would bring the number of postseason teams in each conference to 7. The NHL and NBA each let in 8, and everyone slams them all the time. Under the new plan, only the conference champion would get a first-round bye, and the league would be letting in 2 more mediocre teams, which really makes sense to nobody. The beautiful thing about the NFL, quite frankly, is the fact they limit the amount of teams that they let into their postseason. But more teams means more playoff games, which means more money. So once again, greed is pretty much running sports. Well, that's it for Greedy Sports. More news coming up after the break.
The 10 o'clock news brought to you by your local Volkswagen dealers.
Hey, get down here fast. They got the silver one. Okay, bye.
Claim your Volkswagen. With offers this good, they won't be around forever.
Fox Rochester is celebrating our region and those who walk to help others. Lace up your sneakers and help make a difference in the lives of 6,400 individuals living with multiple sclerosis in upstate New York. Join the 2003 Time Warner Cable MS Walk on Sunday, April 6th and help move the upstate New York chapter of the National MS Society another step closer to a cure for MS. For more information or to register, call 1-800-FIGHT-MS or visit www.msupstateny.org. Fox Rochester, celebrating our region.
At GMC, being professional grade means you do things better. That's why the GMC Sierra has more horsepower than any other pickup in the world. Envoy comes with the most front head and leg room in its class, and Yukon has the tightest turning radius in its class. GMC, we are professional grade. GM owners or lessees can get $3,000 total cash back on all new GMCs. See the pros at your Rochester area GMC dealers.
I heard the screeching, and I knew he was going to hit us.
Hurt in a car wreck? Call us. 800-LAW 1333.
I had surgery on my neck. They took 2 discs out.
The more serious your injury, the more you need the heavy hitters.
I was amazed that I was going to wind up with that kind of money.
We'll get you every dollar, dime, and penny because we know how.
I never believed that it would happen until I saw the check.
Hurt in a car wreck? Call the heavy hitters.
We're Alexander and Catalano.
I love them both.
The Infiniti G35, Motor Trend's 2003 Car of the Year. Brilliantly equipped for $31,195.
Mr. and Mrs. Caruso, your son's fine. Somehow he managed to jam a quarter up his nose. We were able to get it out.
Oh.
You can see him now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Say hello to Coinstar. You give us coins, we give you cash.
Let's take another look at stories that made headlines today. With war likely to begin tomorrow, Governor Pataki says a series of long-planned security protections are going into effect. The State Emergency Management Office is putting up its command center around the clock, and hundreds more National Guard members are being mobilized. Still, he says he's aware of no specific terror threats against New York. The murder trial of anti-abortion activist James Kopp is over already. A judge finding him guilty of killing Amherst abortion provider Dr. Barnett Slepian. Kopp admitted shooting Slepian, but says he only wanted to injure him. Last week, he waived his right to a jury trial. He now faces 25 years to life in prison. The jury in the Eric Parsons murder and arson trial has retired for the night without reaching a verdict. Parsons is accused of setting his home on fire in November 2001, killing his wife and 4 children. Jurors began deliberations this afternoon.
Good evening, everyone. Here's a recap of what to expect for tonight. 25 degrees. We'll see some pretty cold conditions. Some nice clear skies. Winds out of the northeast between 10 to 15 miles an hour. And as for the day tomorrow, we'll see some gorgeous sunny skies. A temperature right around 48 degrees. And here's what to expect for the next 7 days. Looks like we're going to see a pretty sunny Wednesday with some possible rain heading in for nightfall. And then it looks like we have a possibility of seeing rainfall Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Those temperatures getting a bit cooler, but bringing us back to some warmth as we head throughout the day on Tuesday with a high of 55 degrees and a low of 34. So it looks like you're going to need to get those umbrellas ready. Back to you.
Thanks, Megan. Now here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow's 10 o'clock news. War with Iraq could begin tomorrow as Saddam reaches that deadline. We'll bring you local reaction and tell you what you need to know to stay safe. And in our travel and tourism report, we'll look at the interpretive centers being put up along the Erie Canal. That and more tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That will do it for us tonight. Now we're going to leave you with The Full Monty. Not Here at Fox 31 is the latest musical at the Auditorium Center. We'll see you here tomorrow for the 10 o'clock news.
I want to
Our late night lineup begins with Seinfeld next on Fox Rochester.
Rich and powerful insurance companies often attempt to severely limit the rights of accident victims.
When they are successful, the cost of the victim's disability and rehabilitation falls upon all of us, the taxpayers.
If you are ever injured, your choice of law firms is critical. By successfully fighting for our clients against insurance companies, Solino & Barnes has become one of America's largest personal injury firms.
Call us. We'd be honored to fight for you.
It's March Mania at Marina Dodge. Zero down and 0% financing on every new Dodge. Or get a new Dodge Caravan only $149 a month. Hurry, March Mania ends March 31st. Marina Dodge, Webster.
Injuries suffered as a result of a serious accident often have devastating effects. To obtain what's right and just, your choice of a law firm is critical.
At Salino & Barnes, we offer you our experience and a track record of proven results. During the past 2 years, we've likely recovered more money for more accident victims than any firm in Western New York.
By achieving these exceptional results for our clients, we have become one of America's largest personal injury firms.
Our success is the difference.
Toyota has new low APRs on all 2003 models. Dorschel has discounted all 2003s in stock. Every Avalon, Camry, and Corolla. Every Land Cruiser, 4Runner, and RAV4. Every Sequoia, Highlander, and Sienna. All are Dorschel discounted and have new low APRs. A fully equipped Camry is yours for just $18,397. A great car and great financing. You get it all at Dorschel Toyota. Stop out today and save. It's guaranteed.
He likes to dribble drive using a high post pick. There's the pass. Puts it up. Yes! Oh! Holy mackerel, what a game!
Equipped with Performance Shift Automatic and Power Interior Package, GM owners and lessees can lease a new 2003 Grand MSC Special Edition for around $199 a month. Call for details.
Is this March Madness or what? It's bad.
Visit your Rochester area Pontiac dealer today.
The late night entertainment begins now with Seinfeld.
Fabulous.
Followed by Spin City.
This will be fun.
And at midnight, Star Trek Voyager.
Set a course.
On Fox Rochester.